5 days ago, in the dappled light of this ancient forest, Nanda gave birth to a daughter. A new life, tiny and perfect, entered the world. She is beautiful Dot. Her fur, still a little damp at first, now fluffs into a soft, dark down. Her eyes, wide and curious, have begun to take in the shapes and movements of her treetop home. For 5 days, she has known only the warmth of her mother's chest, the rhythm of her heartbeat, the scent of safety. And already there is a stirring, an instinct. In the safe circle of Nanda's arms, the newborn's tiny limbs twitch. She pushes a minuscule hand against her mother's fur. Is she dreaming of movement? Or is it the first primal urge to learn, to walk? But learning can wait. For now, what she needs, what she utterly depends on, is care, most devoted attention from her mother. And it is not only Nanda who has turned her world toward this new soul Dot. Look there, just a branch away, watching with dark, intelligent eyes, Nanda's eldest daughter. She is perhaps 2 years old, no longer an infant herself, but not yet fully independent. Her gaze is fixed on the little bundle in her mother's arms. Her role, it seems, has already been assigned by the unspoken laws of the troop. She too will pay attention. She too will help care for her younger sibling. This is truly beautiful, isn't it? To witness a family, not so different in its essentials from our own, mobilize with such gentle, instinctive care for a newborn. It is a quiet drama of protection, love, and continuity. Watch Nanda. Now her movements are deliberate, meditative. She brings her newborn to her lap, cradling her with one arm. With her free hand, she begins to meticulously groom her tiny daughter. She runs her fingers through the fine fur, not just cleaning, but rubbing, massaging the miniature chest and back. This is no casual touch. This is ritual. This frequent, thorough rubbing stimulates the infant's circulation, bonds them through scent and contact, and likely, in Nanda's ancient wisdom, ensures her child has good health. It is a mother's first medicine, administered through love. And the eldest sister watches Dot. She mimics her mother's posture, grooming her own arm intently, learning the language of care. Even a child so small dreams of independence. On day 5, the infant monkey, during a moment of perceived safety, wriggles from Nanda's tight embrace. She places 2 tiny hands on the rough bark of their home branch. She attempts to push up, to coordinate 4 unsteady limbs. She wants to learn to walk by herself. But any attempt is brief. Nanda's vigilance is a force field. The instant the infant wobbles or lets out the faintest cry of uncertainty, Nanda is there. In a fluid motion, she sweeps the little one back to the sanctuary of her chest. She tucks the infant close, with a tiny mouth instinctively finds a nipple and nurses for comfort, not just hunger. Why this swift retrieval, this constant, anxious reclaiming? The forest, for all its beauty, holds dangers. A sudden gust of wind, a stealthy shadow of a bird of prey, the careless, or sometimes mischievous, jostle of another troop member. Nanda's fear is not imagined. It is etched into a species' memory. She is afraid of danger, afraid of other monkeys who might, in a moment of chaos, do evil to her little kid. Her embrace is a fortress. And beside the fortress stands a young guard, the eldest daughter. She has positioned herself near her mother, a constant, quiet sentinel. She is helping. She watches the periphery. She scans the branches below. She learns the map of her mother's worry. She is taking care of her mother, so her mother can focus on taking care of her little brother. The dangers are not all large and looming dot. Some are tiny, persistent, buzzing. Nanda's head dips low over her newborn. Her eyes, sharp and focused, scan every millimeter of the infant's skin. She is checking, always checking. What does she fear? Insects, a biting fly, a parasitic mite. To an adult, a nuisance. To a newborn with delicate skin and a fledgling immune system, a source of irritation, potential infection, and distress. Nanda's fingers are swift, plucking imaginary and real threats from the air and fur. And here, the eldest daughter's apprenticeship deepens. She sees her mother's intense inspection. She scoots closer, peering at her little brother's back. Tentatively, she reaches out and parts the fur on his tiny shoulder, mimicking the checking gesture. She is learning to see the unseen. She can help check for mischief on her little brother, just as her own mother does. But Nanda's family, her heart, is not divided into compartments. It expands. She is not only taking care of a newborn, only one. No. There is another, a second child, a yearling, no longer a clinging infant, but not yet the capable elder sister. Just days ago, this one was the baby. It would demand grooming during the midday break, nuzzling insistently under Nanda's chin. Nanda has not forgotten her dot. Even now, exhausted from the relentless demands of a newborn, Nanda will reach out a weary arm. She will pull her second child close for a brief one-armed groom. A scratch behind the ears. A reaffirmation. You are still mine. Lunch break dot. The troop is quiet, digesting. Nanda finds a sturdy fork in the branches. She is utterly spent. The fatigue is in the slight droop of her shoulders, the slow blink of her eyes. Yet, no matter how exhausted, no matter how much her strength is depleted, Nanda is still sitting. And she is embracing her little child, who clings to her chest like a second skin. The newborn roots, finds a nipple and begins to nurse. The suckling is rhythmic, peaceful. The milk, it must be delicious, warm, the very essence of safety and sleep. And what of the second child? She is sleepy too. Having received a few minutes of her mother's wavering attention, her waver from sole focus, she is satisfied. Now she comes to seek sleep. She doesn't demand to nurse. She simply curls her body against her mother's back, finding warmth and proximity. She sleeps near her mother, quietly. But Nanda does not sleep. Dot. Not deeply. Her eyes are open, alert. She is staring, looking around her body, around her sleeping children. She scans the canopy, the shadows. What obstacles are currently coming to disturb her? Her vigilance is a tide that never fully goes out. The eldest daughter, our 2-year-old sentinel, still travels with her mother regularly. She is the shadow, the helper, but watch her carefully now. She looks at the newborn, nursing contentedly. She feels a primal pull herself, the memory of that comfort, that security. Sometimes she even shuffles a little closer, a question in her posture. She wants to suckle her mother's milk, but she doesn't dare ask. She holds back. Why? Because she sees. She sees her mother has just given birth to a small sibling. She sees the infant's total dependence. In the economy of motherhood, she seems to understand. Her mother does not allow her to suckle as before. That resource, for now, is prioritized for the newest life. And this is a time, a crucial, bittersweet time of learning. It is not a punishment, but a passage. For the eldest, it is time to learn about self-sufficiency, to learn to live more fully with the different friends in her peer group, to learn the intricate maps of the forest for finding her own fruits and insects, without having to rely solely on her parents any further. This is the habit, the ancient curriculum of all monkeys in the troop. When a new baby is born, the eldest child who is under direct care finds that chapter closing. The mother provides guidance, protection, and occasional food shares, water as well as food. But the intense, all-consuming nurture of infancy is complete. It doesn't mean the mother has abandoned her older children. Never. Her love is not a finite resource, but her energy is. And so, biology and community dictate a shift. She must take care of the young children who have just been born, for they will not survive without that total devotion. And the other members who are her children, she still looks after them. She still loves them the same, but not like before. The nature of her care evolves, as they must evolve. The forest comes alive again for late afternoon. The infant squeaks. Nanda answers with a grunt. The eldest daughter leaps to a nearby branch to play with a peer. So here they are, Dot Nanda Comma, the mother, at the center of this beautiful, tired, vigilant universe. The newborn, a bundle of pure potential, experiencing the world as a symphony of scent, touch, and her mother's heartbeat. The second child, navigating the confusing shift from baby to middle child, learning to find comfort in proximity rather than constant provision. And the eldest, stepping bravely into her role as a helper and apprentice to the wider world. This is a family, a careful, loving, struggling, enduring family. It is a story written not in words, but in gestures. A groom, an embrace, a watchful glance, a reluctant letting go. It is the story of the first 5 days, and the story of every day that will follow in the dappled light of the forest.